there's so much I'd love to say about Dr. Ishibashi, but I don't want to steal his time, but he's been a great mentor for me. He's a graduate from a very fascinating medical school in Japan, Jichi Medical School, that actually promotes the development of community and family doctors. And fortunately, in 2017, Japan is going to recognize family medicine in Japan. That is in no small part due to the efforts of Dr. Ishibashi. But after graduating from Jichi Medical School, he became a self-made family doctor by doing pediatrics and adult medicine, rotating in various places, public health. He became an academic professor at the school he graduated from, Jichi Medical School. He also did a fellowship in Washington, University of Washington, Seattle, for a year, where he worked closely with some famous people from family medicine. But he's also been very active clinically. He sees 50 to 60 patients per day, he operates 3 different facilities, has a number of doctors working with him. He's pushing the envelope on group practice in Japan, which the government is still sort of struggling with how to recognize that. He operates a home health nurse station. He also operates a nursing home, has a lot of clinical experience in care. He's also a affiliated professor with several universities in Japan. And he's also a political activist. As noted on the slide, he's the director of his clinic, but he's also the director of the Japan Primary Care Association. He's a true believer in public health and also multidisciplinary collaborations, and is promoting arrangements with a number of groups, pharmacists, nurses, dietitians, to develop certifications in primary care in Japan. But without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to the stage. One final note, we'll show a couple of videos today, and some of these are fairly graphic. We hope that they won't be too charged for you, but we did want to share those today, so we wanted to just give you that warning. Dr. Ishibashi.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Professor Fetters. Here's my best friends in America. So, I also want to thank the Center for Japanese Student Studies and the co-sponsors of my talk for inviting me to the University of Michigan. Lex. This talk required a lot of courage because my English is a little rusty. So, but I hope you will bear with me. So please. Okay. Today's my lecture's object is one. Remember what the Tohoku disaster was like. Second, describe my experience in leading the Japan Primary Care Association response to the disaster. Third, describe family physician roles in the aftermath of the disaster. Discuss family physician role in the disaster preparation and response planning. Recognize the people affected by the disaster and inspire hope by using the video. Please show the video. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
Violent vibration coming from below.
最大で震度7を記録しました。
The strongest record was 6 intensity 7 on the Japanese scale.
1分40秒後、
1 minute and 40 seconds later,
激しい揺れが首都圏に達しま
the
す。
violent tremor reached the metropolitan area.
照明灯にご注意ください。照明灯を
Please watch out for the lights.
照明灯にご注意ください。
Please watch out
上
for
に
the
何も
lights.
ないかをご確認ください。横浜
Please make sure there's nothing above you.
新宿の高層ビル群が揺
There
れる
was
様
a
子も捉えられて
swaying
いました。
skyscraper in Shinjuku.
カメラ本体の揺れを取り除くと、ビルが大きく揺れてい
Once
るの
you
がわかりま
remove
す。
the movement from the camera, you can see the building swaying quite a bit. Oh, it's shaking, shaking.
長くゆったりとした揺れ、長周期地震動がビルを襲いました。
A long period ground motion struck the buildings.
高層階では5分以上も揺れ続けました。
The tremor lasted for more than 5 minutes on the higher floors.
高さ13階の12階のビルにいます。非常に強い横揺れを
I'm
感じ
on
てい
the
ます。
13th
立ってい
floor.
られない状態です。
I'm feeling strong vibration. I
立っていられない状態
can't
で
keep
す。
standing.
物も大きく揺れ落ちています。
Things are falling down.
東京湾のコンビナートでは大規模な火災も発生しました。
There was a large-scale fire at the petrochemical complex at Tokyo Bay.
巨大津波です。
This is massive tsunami.
地震発生から30分ほどで到達しました。
It reached the land in 30 minutes after the earthquake occurred. It's coming, coming, coming.
津波の猛威が各地で撮影されていました。
People recorded the fierceness of this tsunami.
堤防越えた。
It went over the seawall.
堤防越えたから逃げようってば。
Get away!
ダメだ、停電が危ねえ。早く早く早く
Hurry,
早く
hurry,
早く
hurry!
早く早く
Hurry up!
津波は人々の想像を超えて襲いかかりました。
This tsunami was beyond everyone's imagination and it struck us.
ヘリコプターが捉えた映像です。
This is a picture taken from the helicopter.
あらゆるものを飲み込んでゆきます。
It keeps swallowing everything.
津波は内陸5キロまで侵入してゆきました。
Tsunami reached inland about 3 miles from the coastline.
仙台空港も大きな被害を受けました。
Sendai Airport also had a large-scale damage.
空港の駐車場の車両が全部滑走路の方に流れてきて、ヘリも全部流れて
Cars
きて
are washed away from the parking lot to the runway. The helicopter is also floating.
もうダメだ。
This is dangerous here, but there is nowhere to go.
地震発生から7時間後、ハワイに4メートルの津波が到
7
達。
hours after the earthquake, over 13 feet tsunami reached Hawaii.
Pouring over the water. You can see I'm completely stranded now.
半日後には1万7000キロ離れた南米チリに、
Half a day later, over 13 feet tsunami reached Chile.
ここでも
That is
4メートルの津波が襲っていました。
563 miles away.
南極にまで到達。
It reached South Pole as well.
広さ120平方キロメートルに及ぶ巨大な氷山を崩壊さ
Tsunami
せていまし
collapsed
た。
a massive ice field that was 120 square kilometers wide.
Okay. The earthquake that struck the northeast Japan on March 11, 2011. Tsunami killed 15,000 people and missing still 3,070 people. More than 70,000 people are displaced. 50,000 people 50,000 shelters have construction in the area. This map shows the region of Japan. And this is Kyoto. Do you know the Kyoto? Yeah, very ancient capital in Japan. So, 見えるかな? Here is Kyoto. And this is Iwate and Miyagi, Fukushima, yellow place in Toku area. Though this is the most damage from disaster and tsunami. The Fukushima is here. Fukushima is the location of the affected nuclear power plant. And so, Tohoku earthquake and the tsunami at the 2:46 p.m. on Friday 11, yesterday March the 2011. Epicenter and magnitude, depth 55 miles, and the magnitude and 9.0. The slide show the time. Oh, sorry. So this slide show there are many aftershocks. For reference, the shaking the skyscraper. Oh, sorry. これでいいよね。あ、本当だ。Sorry. Just one please. Oh. This one, sorry. At the 2:46, the tsunami warning was sounded. This showed the time until the tsunami hits the coast and the height. The point of this slide is that if you live on the coast, you react immediately and move safely to a high place. But the safe place is at least 130 feet because the tsunami is higher in a place like river and narrows areas. You need to go to the fourth floor of the building. Sorry, this slide aftershock. You see the intensity 6 plus the 2 times. In Tokyo, almost a 5 plus. But the original intensity in Miyagi prefecture was a 7, very huge. The death people 100,000, 15,000, 80, 89. Oh, sorry, just one please. I use a two computers, so it's very difficult to use it. So, just one please. Okay, this one. Sorry. Okay, 大丈夫です。はい。This slide shows the total number of the deaths, a number of people missing and injured. A key point is that there were many deaths from people being swallowed by the tsunami, and there are relatively few injuries. This is almost opposite of deaths and injured of the earthquake that hit Kobe in 1995, 20 years ago. Kobe's earthquake is called a city earthquake. Many buildings were flooded and burned down. Many people were burned to death by fire. Very terrible things. This slide shows the structure that occurred. It includes homes, businesses, apartments, or buildings. The total is nearly 2 million affected. This slide shows people rescued, people evacuated, and temporary housing units. Key points are the largest number of people evacuated, 3 million people. The number still evacuated and increase the number of the temporary housing units. This slide, response and efforts. So, here, this one. DMAT. Do you know the DMAT? There is no DMAT in U.S. DMAT, Disaster Medical Assistance Team. This team activity in the first 72 hours. And Niseki, this Red Cross team, first 72 hours. JMAT, Japan Medical Association team, after 72 hours, 2 to 3 months only, daytime only. And Tokushukai disaster team, and after 72 hours, 3 months only. The PCAT, we are PCAT, the primary care for all team. After 72 hours, care day or night. 2 years continued my activity. So, but now we stop the service. Overall, PCAT goals to send multidisciplinary teams to support evacuees in the shelters and the temporary housing to ensure their good health. Second, to provide medical care but also work with the local government, public health department, and the medical community to improve evacuees' mental and physical health. Third, to support the restoration of the medical system. PCAT initial action of Japan Primary Care Association's relief operation. We call Plan A. Plan A to support local doctors who continue the medical care by sending doctors to relieve them 1 week to 1 month. Plan B, to provide medical service to regional and evacuated people through visit to their homes and in the shelters. To send medical teams comprised of physicians, dentists, nurses, pharmacologists, dietitians, physical therapists, and occupational therapists to work with local medical staff. And we have a PICOT to support women who are in the perinatal period and gynecological clinics, to send family physicians, gynecologists, and midwives who can provide appropriate care. And also RIGHT program. This is to check the medical condition of evacuated people in the shelter or their houses, to improve their environmental and diet based on the results. We have two base camps. Here, this is Fujisawa. Here is Iwate Prefecture. Here is Miyagi Prefecture. And we have Fujisawa have here to Kesennuma. Kesennuma is Miyagi. Fujisawa is Iwate. The Fujisawa town from to Kesennuma city maybe by car 40 minutes. 1 hour. And also Wakuya town. Our base from to Ishinomaki city, maybe using by car 40 minutes. So the Onagawacho, this is a very atomic plant, but this atomic plant is safe because of that very high. This is Minami Sanrik. It's very severe. Very severe damage, and almost the main town that destroyed. So, and this is the Kesennuma city. Our first efforts, our first efforts are focused on Kesennuma city. Can you hear this? Here, can you see this line? This is the railroad line. The railroad tracks were destroyed by the huge power of the tsunami. Come and go, double power. So, the tsunami. Maybe tsunami coming here. So about 100 feet. At the coast, the tsunami was less than 35 feet, but the height become much higher when passing through narrow space. They report that tsunami peaks reached 130 feet, very high. Where is the first floor? You can see here the second floor. First floor is gone. This photo shows the picket house consultation in a shelter. Aid at the Kesennuma K-Web shelter. JMAT operation during the day. We operated at night. Family doctor worked in infectious disease prevention. So, full containment. At night, we looked for patients with the flu. Many patients had flu symptoms. We tested them and made isolation areas. We put flu test positive patients in the isolation area. Viral infection diarrhea. We look for hydration children. When it was checked, well, many people had diarrhea, but they don't say, I have a diarrhea, because this is hazukashi, the Japanese spirits. So the cause was a poor toilet hygiene. This solution we developed in the toilet junior high school boy and then junior high school students and high school students and clean up every toilet. So they are very good work. This is a Tsunami group's shelter. This is the middle school that become part of Tsunami group shelter. Here is our clinic. Picket support at the Tsunami group shelter. Local doctor support. Dr. M was Dr. M and he is a disaster victims who lost complete his office. The next day he started seeing the patient. Oh, you're my doctor. Please stay. Oh, he seeing the patients. He was working 24 hours per day. Pickett supported him so he could have a break. He was concerned about the patient from his practice. Pickett support teams came to relieve him. He started a home visit again. Autopsy. This is miserable. We supported the autopsy. Local doctor said, do we really have to do it? We are suffering too. I don't have to do it. Here, this is Japan Safe Defense Force mobile surgery suit on the ground of Tsunami Middle School. Her physician diagnosis and 2-year surgical patient. Pretty sure this is a white newspaper made by the elementary school student. This provides mental support adults. Working with the dietitian. We're working with the dietitian, so each shelter has a diet. Some are high in calories, some are not. Some are rich in vitamins, some are not. A distributed system of food change. Survivor, I can chew. Then take him a liquid diet. The person who can eat anything, so it can to receive something soft. Poor diet weakens our immune system and worsen chronic disease. Diabetes mellitus patient, not so worth, but high salt worsen hypertension. But 2 or 3 months after, 3 or 4 months later, the diabetes mellitus increase. At first, is safe. Working with a dentist. Your breath smells like garbage. Did you really last brush your teeth 2 weeks ago? we need a cup of water. We don't, they don't have water. And toothpaste. Bottles of water and the toothpastes were distributed. My denture don't fit anymore because you got thin. Because they can give out the thin, become thin. A denture was improved so that they might fit. Cough. Patient needed training to swallow. It's very difficult to swallow. The swallow, the training, the massage of here and open mouth and close mouth, open mouth, close mouth. This is training. So improve the dental care led to better swallowing. Medical shelter for individuals. Needed skilled nursing. Can see that this is an patient, the people who need the nursing care. This is a family. This is paired. One patient, one family. Only one family. This is the morning multidisciplinary team meeting. They are officer from Hokkaido, north of Tohoku. They are dietitian. They are physical technician and occupational technician. She is a nurse. Every morning, team meeting. And a nurse consultation station. They are all over nurse. Other shelter, there is no many nurse. Only one or not. But she is there all over nurse. Very different things at the shelter. Because the many patients and many people need nursing care in the shelter. This is a food preparation area. The dietitian and the helper. And also rehabilitation was carried out by doctors from bariatric specialists. This is shelter pharmacy. He is a pharmacist from coming from Hokkaido. After disaster, what should we do? Family physician roles in disaster preparation and response planning. This is Motoroshi Hospital in Kesenuma City. Despite an initial damage, and outpatient and home care continued. Picket doctor have a 1 month rotation here. And living doctor are being displaced to the hospital for a period of 1 month to help the doctor shortage. This is a picture of the hospital staff taken 2 years ago. There is doctor, resident, and any other medical professional. Almost from out of Miyagi, so many other, almost there coming all over the Japan. Current Japan Primary Care Association activities. reconstruction of hospitals and clinics in the disaster areas. Over 50 medical personnel of our field, including medical doctors, have been working in Tohoku area. Health check of victims. Twice a year, a regular health check for all of the victims. These victims are now all over Japan. Twice a year, a silo check for children of victims. So, atomic influence. So, atomic influence for the thyroid. But not so includes thyroid cancer for children in Japan now. Mental care. Number of suicide has been decreased in the region since 2013. Expect for Fukushima Prefecture because the people of the Fukushima Prefecture don't come back to Fukushima. Almost remain another prefecture. So and also don't come in place. There is an let's say sorry. 入れない地域 evacuated place. They are long sorry.
Exclusion zone.
ゾーンとってもまだまだ残っているっていうのは。The remained
そういう場所が多いってことですか？
多いですね。まだ広い期間が入れないところがたくさん。
So there are lots of areas in Fukushima where people cannot go back yet.
So, maybe 20 kilometers from now is 20 kilometers from atomic electric nuclear plant. So, and the preparation for the next disaster, developing the disaster medical plan, developing a support plan for people needing assistance. Current role of the medical association. I'm the president of the medical association in Higashikurume. Higashikurume is Tokyo. Anyone know the Kurume? Oh, Kurume is Kyushu. But Higashikurume is Tokyo. Huge city. So, making regional disaster medicine plan, character of the disaster, aftermath, time of occurrence, day, night, weekday, holiday. People in need, especially for vulnerable people. Developing an inter-prefectural communication system. Growing cooperation of government, public health, medical care facilities, and welfare organization. Organizing disaster preparation plans by group. Medical association, local people, caregivers. So, efforts of the highest efforts of Higashikurume City and regional medical association after this disaster. Revising a regional plan for disaster preparation. Establishing a joint council for disaster preparation, government and the medical, dental, and pharmacological association. And making group and individual plan for supporting the vulnerable people in a disaster. Efforts of the next, the plotting out operation manuals for disaster preparation. 5. Securing materials needed during disaster and in shelters. 6. Preparing an emergency contact network using internet and satellite phones. Number 3 and number 7, making an emergency contact network of the medical associations. educating medical staff and administrative officers of disaster medicine. Lectures about disaster medicine. 9. Educating residents about disaster preparation. This is a manual of the Higashikurume Regional Medical Association. Details action plan, subacute phase, acute phase, subacute phase. So, many contact, but sorry, no time. Yep. So, video, please note the importance of everyone collaborating together in such a terrible disaster and how this brings hope.
一番綺麗な色ってなんだろう。一番光ってるものってなんだろう。僕は探してた最高のギフト、君が喜んだ姿をイメージしながら、本当の自分を見つけたいって言うけど、生まれた意味を知りたいって言うけど、僕の両手がそれを渡すときっと謎が解けるといいな。受け取ってくれるかな。長い間君に渡したくて強く握りしめていたから、もうぐちゃぐちゃになって色は変わり果て、お世辞にも綺麗とは言えないけど、白が黒で答えるという難題を突きつけられ、打ち当たった壁の前で僕らはまた迷ってるけど、白と黒のその間に無限の色が広がってる。君に似合う色探して優しい名前をつけたなら、これ一番綺麗な色、今君に送るよ。地平線の先にたどり着いても、新しい地平線が広がるだけ。もうやめにしようか。自分の胸に聞くと、まだ歩き続けたいと返事が聞こえたよ。知らぬ間に増えていった荷物もまだなんとか背負ってけるから、君のまで持つよ。だからそばにいてよ。それだけで心は軽くなる。果てし だろう一番光ってるものってなんだろう僕は抱きしめる君がくれたギフトいつまでも胸の奥でほら光ってるんだよ光り続けんだよ
お、where? どこ？あ、これね。Sorry. 大丈夫ね。はい。Finally, the tsunami also causes severe damage when it goes back into the river. For example, you can see this is car, this house is almost destroyed. But please look, this one. Cherry trees. Why the tsunami came to the top of these trees? But cherry blossom were blooming beautiful 1 month later. I felt right first. How about you? Thank you very much today.
So, Dr. Ishibashi would like to entertain any questions or points anyone would like to make?
Oh,
You raised your hand first.
yes, please.
Sharing such a valuable information. My question was in your early slide, respond time is, I can speak Japanese.
Yeah.
Respond time is 72 hours. Is there any reason why you set up 72 hours? Because why firefighters from the nationwide, they can respond right away. So I just wonder why 72 hours come from. 貴重な
はい
報告ありがとうございました。わかりました
大丈夫です。はい、ありがとうございます。72時間っていうのが、例えば建物の下とかで閉じ込められた時に助かる、
可能性がある。
時間が72時間。
The 72 hours came from the length of time people could survive. For example, if they are trapped underneath of the building. So that's the maximum number of hours people could survive in that condition.
But why you couldn't respond?
もうちょっと
72
なぜ
hours?
72時間より
Hours
もっと早い時からこうそういう救助活動を始めることがで
Sorry,
きなかっ
and within the 72 hours. There, sorry, this was means that within the 72 hours. But the very first DMAT within this time on 18, because that almost load the destroyed. So only use a helicopter. But this time the 2 o'clock p.m. So very and maybe 18 years at midnight and 12 years at midnight. So can do the using a helicopter.
仕事分担があったでしょ、グループによっては。P カットのグループと。
72時間は DMAT がメイン。
だから仕事分担で違うグループが最初の72時間ですよね。
DMAT は
がその後ですよね。
DMAT は72時間ですね。
So within that 72 hours, the DMAT group was in charge, and after that, PCAT group took it over.
We had a question up here first.
Yeah.
How many patients were treated for potential radiation exposure? Would this be, of course, at a later date than what you're addressing?
でこの今スライドにあった時よりももっと後のことになるんですけど、その放射線の被爆した人の数とか。
被爆した人の数はもうこの時に被爆した人なので、どこを被爆し、東京もラディエーションは増えました、出ますので、300キロぐらいまでは放射の量は増えてます。ただ、非常にひどい場所、
患者の数、
放射線急性被爆は一人もいない。
So the radiation exposure that happened when this disaster happened, and later on there are people who had some radiation influence. Those people who live in Tokyo. So the amount of radiation that increased within about 300-kilometer range.
でもまだ増えてはないです。
そこから
まだがんの人とかは増えていない。
But the number of cancer patients because of this incident that hasn't increased yet.
それと最初の時に急性の被爆障害を受けた人もいない。
And there was no one who got suffered from acute radiation exposure.
事実。
I think she was next to. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for your talk. I'm an anthropologist, so I'm very interested in some of the funeral arrangements. You showed the mass burial sites and the caskets, and I wondered if they had been reburied, cremated and reburied afterwards, or what is the status of those mass burial sites in the areas you work?
その災害があってその後にその皆さん死亡された方はこうお葬式みたいな感じでありましたよね。でその後でまたそういう人たちはちゃんと仮装をして、そういうお弔いをしたのかどういうふうにその集団墓地っていう感じでこう死体がいっぱい集まったところそれはその後どういうふうに、管理をされて処理をされたのか。
集団である場所にみんなをその遺体を集めてでそこで死亡診断をします。
We gathered all the people who passed away in one mass burial site, and there we did the autopsy.
でその後そこのところで確認を誰がの家族なのか確認ができた人からお弔いをやっていく。
And then we had family members identify those people, and whenever we could recognize the person, then we had the funeral for this particular individual.
でそして、確認できた人はそれぞれがお葬式を出します。
So those people who could be recognized, the family member or people who knew this person, they could have a funeral.
仮装してでそしてお墓もやられていることが多いので、別なところにお墓を作って埋めるということ。
And those people are cremated, and if they had a site for burial, then they took that to the cremation, body in to that place.
で、身元がわからない人は集団で仮装して、まとめて墓地に埋める。
And so those who we couldn't identify, we had a cremation for these group of people, and then we buried them together.
So we know some people have to go to class, and that's fine. Dr. Ishibashi knows that we're not being rude. So you understand that. Yes, please.
How do you pay doctors and nurses on PCAT?
ペイはno pay, volunteer. Almost volunteer. But we need a lot of money because car and the foods and the drug and other things and the
Accommodation.
accommodation. So maybe 2 years. 1億5000万。1億5000万。1億5000万。150 million dollar.
$1,500,000 yen.
円だからそうですね。100 million.
1,500,000.
Almost one. So we need money. So almost give
Donation.
donation. One day UNICEF, we give the donation from UNICEF and Nippon Zaidan, the Japanese Zaidan, Nippon
Foundation.
Japan Foundation, and the one is American Japanese American Society for in New York. They Japan American Society in New York give us almost 3,000万円だから。
Yeah, $300,000.
Sorry. So very helpful for us. Yeah.
So, beginning the story of gasoline to send people there. Can you tell that story? I think
Please.
you
It's very difficult for me.
Oh, okay. But he asked me to tell the story. So when they first tried to send people to the area, you saw the refinery blew up. There's no gasoline anywhere, not even in Tokyo. It's all gone. So to get there, they started in Nagoya to get gasoline. They came to Shizuoka. So probably most of you know the territory. That's a long way. It's like going from Chicago to Detroit or something. And they had to buy gasoline somewhere like Chicago. And then they actually rented a car in Shizuoka, but they couldn't tell them they were going to Tohoku. They just said they were going to Tokyo. And then they had to drive the car with the gas that they brought in cans just to go visit the areas. That's how hard it was to access the areas. You just couldn't go in to do things because there wasn't fuel, there wasn't cars to where you could go in for the volunteers that wanted to go in.
Okay.
How did foreign medical teams fit into this organization?
Our team or
外国の先生とか来て
many. I can
くるでどういうような役目があったかとか協力をしたか
sorry, how many? How? Sorry. なんて言えばいいの
It's hard to describe.
まず don't use foreign medical license. So doctor only Japanese doctor graduate in Japan and go to the foreign country, so U.S. and London or any other thing. So they come to with us. So see the patient. But other doctor assistant or advisor and that's all. But nursing, they're very helpful for us. Nurse is very helpful, and technician, physical technician, they're very helpful for us. And 何だかな、あとは理学療士ぐらいかな。あとデンティスト
Physical therapists or
physical
very
yes,
helpful.
help physical ぐらいかな。Psychologists are very difficult to communication with the Japanese, so they are only advice. But there is not so much counselor in Japan, So now we need a more counselor, but with the Japanese, so it's very difficult to communication. Yeah.
So I have a question
Oh,
about, so it's related
Yeah.
to this.
ちょっとこれに関連して質問があるんです
So, do you think the government is too strict to not let medical providers help in the context of a disaster? Do you think the government rule is too strict not to let other doctors help in the first 72 hours, the first week, first 2 weeks? Do you think that's a good rule?
で政府の決まりで海外からのお医者さんは患者さんを見ちゃいけないとかそういうことがあるから海外で資格を持っているお医者さんたちは日本で患者さんたちを助けられなかったのかでもし
Yes.
それがいいことかないか。
いいことではないけどしょうがない。
The government's restriction is of course not a good thing, but we can't really do anything about it. So
日本はそう簡単に変えられない。
it's hard to change Japan. さとこさん。
さとこさんさっき。Yeah.
Somewhat related, but in speaking of people's mental health, you shared a story about how could you share a story about how the U.S. the military ships were actually very helpful in
お風呂の話。
はい。
どうぞ。
いい。The victims don't do the many water, don't use water, only drink. But Japanese like a bath, Yeah. So U.S. Marine come to the ship near the Ishinomaki Kesenuma. So, そうですか。They invited the ship with the お風呂。So, very relaxed and very happy for the victims. So, that's a very helpful for the victims in Tohoku person.
お風呂 is a bath.
Bath.
So they took people from the land to the ship where they could have
Yes.
bath, and that was big mental relief for many people.
So every daytime, 30 or 50 person from the ship to the from the boat by using boat from around two ships. であってるのかな？はい。
いやで。
Okay. Yeah.
The shelters?
In the shelters.
Mm-hmm.
So after Katrina, when we took care of people up here who came from Katrina, we were able to look at Walgreens pharmacy records and things like that, use computers to find people's information. Was anything like that available? Or when the doctor's office was gone, was everything gone?
でその被災地にコンピューターとか置いてあるような映像なかったんですけどで例えば患者さんのお薬の記録とか診察記録とかっていうのはもう病院がこう壊れちゃったらそれも全部なくなっちゃって So all the patients' records were gone.
So it's a terrible thing. Now we make cloud the database of the patient, the people with the cloud system. So now making, now we're making, but the Tohoku is not. Yeah.
Are people being more afraid to build close to the water now and staying back further in case something like this happens again?
でこういう津波の被害とかがあったから、もう最近はみんなその海辺にこう家を建てたりとかそういうのはもうやめるようになってもっとこう高台に例えば家を建てるとか、建物を建てるとか、そういうふうにこう傾向が変わってきてますか？皆さんそう不安を感じてますか？
そうですね。Almost people build their home in a high place, high place, the high place. But someone build his home on the ground because a high wall
table?
table.
There's a higher seawall now.
Yeah. So, but not so many.
So they're not building so many, you said? No?
じゃあ、その海岸線のあたりにはあんまり建物はもう建ってない。
今、now.
Yeah, now that they are building
Yes.
buildings more inland rather than the coast area.
今は大体どこでもフラットですね。
Did you notice some types of structures and building materials handled it better than others?
あと建材建物の材質でこういうのは助かったけどこっちの方はダメだったとかそういう違いみたいなのはありましたか？
A strong tsunami, all of this destroyed. So, can see the chair. 見えないな。ないか。I'm sorry, I don't have a picture now, but all building is gone, and if the 外側だけ残っても中が全部ない。
So sometimes the structure exists, like the frame is standing, but the inside is all wiped out.
で3階までほとんどやられてる。
And up to third floor of the building. 大変なことでしたね。
いいですかね。
Okay, well, let's
Thank you very much. So